Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video, as you can probably tell, is going to be an unboxing, and as you can see, this is a new knife from Jack Wolf Knives. And so this is what I believe they're calling the Stockman Jack. Now, this is the first time I'm seeing it. It's an unboxing, and the only thing I've seen so far is a little icon in the email that I got saying that this was on its way to me. So I'm really excited to see it, being that it's a new type of pattern for Jack Wolf Knives. They haven't done certainly not a Stockman in the traditional sense, which we'll see if that's exactly what this is, but they haven't done this exact type pattern from what I could tell from what this is. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. I'm using the Gateway Fixed EDC, which I have not done a review of yet, should have, but haven't gotten to it. But I wanted to do an unboxing of this knife because I'm really interested and looking forward to it, and I just wanted to get it open and do a video. So let's open this up and take out the packing slip. And so here it is. So you can see here it says Stockman, and this is Kieranite root beer. And as you can see, this is a Gateway series knife. So much lower price point than the premium line of Jack Wolf Knives. If you're interested in the different series or lines of knives that Jack Wolf Knives has done, I did do an article on that, so you can check it out up here. But this is part of the Gateway series, the kind of more budget-friendly, lower-priced series. So it comes in this type box rather than the metal tube. And here it is. So this is much heftier than I had realized from the little picture. So this is a big old serpentine pattern. And so that's what this is. What I would call it is a serpentine jack. Now, the reason I would think that they've gone with the Stockman name is because Stockman knives are typically on a serpentine pattern. So a Stockman is typically a serpentine knife with 3 blades. So it has a full-sized main blade, usually almost always being a clip point, and then typically it will have 2 blades on the second spring, usually a sheep foot and a spay blade. So for example, this is a Stockman from Queen Cutlery. Now this is a round-ended serpentine, and it's a lot less serpentine than this one and a lot kind of skinnier, but it's a Stockman. So kind of a traditional 3-bladed Stockman with the clip point, the sheep foot, and the spay blade. So you can see 2 springs versus this is a single-bladed knife with 1 spring. But it's not that there are not single-bladed serpentine knives out there. So for example, GEC made this knife for Charlie Campagna for Way North Cutlery. This is the Bison Belly. Now this again is a round-ended serpentine, so might be more called a sow belly or closer to a sow belly pattern, but it's kind of similar. It's a serpentine shape. So, you know, if you're not sure what that means, it's this 2 curve, right? So it curves kind of down and then up so that the ends point opposite directions. So this is a square end serpentine, but it's really thick here. I would say that this is kind of what I'm noticing as Ben Belkin of Jack Wolf Knives putting his own style into this. Now, I do think that there are some more modern, like maybe Tony Bowes type serpentine jacks and or Stockman that have this thicker shape to them. It's just not that I am that familiar with it. I did want to show you another Queen knife here, though. This is actually technically a square end serpentine, but obviously it's much smaller. This is Sheffield Jig Pearl, and it's just a pen knife, but you can kind of maybe see a little bit of the inspiration. But back to this knife itself, one big thing that I noticed right away is this is a new shield for Jack Wolf Knives. So they've used this, what you might call a federal shield before, and I don't know exactly the name for this. I think it might be like Crown and Bollocks. So, you know, it's an interesting shield. It is a traditional shield shape that you do see on, you know, old vintage knives. But it's actually one that I don't think that I have ever had or ever even maybe seen in person before. So it's a new thing for me also. And it's really interesting. It has this kind of almost chess piece shape to it. I mean, if it didn't have this upturn here at the bottom, I would say that it looks just like a chess piece, right? But with that, that's why it's crown up here and, you know, bollocks down there. So that's one name for it I've heard. If there's another name, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know. I'd rather call it something else. But it is fit into there really nicely. I don't see any gaps around the shield. Neither on the pins. I'll tell you, the pins, these spring pins here are very close to the edge of the covers. I'm going to take a real close look here. But I don't see any cracks. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. But those, I don't know if it's gonna focus, but those spring pins are very close to the edge of the covers. But no cracks that I can see or on any of the other pins. So very nicely fit, which is to be expected. These Gateway knives are really nicely made. You know, for any knife, I say, but certainly for the price. Really nicely fit between the bolsters and the covers also. Can't even really catch a fingernail. So that's very nice. And no gaps on the back spring. Tip sits nice and well within the frame. So I hate proud tips, so this one's not too proud. And then you've got a nail nick here, and it's pretty easy to get to. Now, when I first saw it here, I thought, oh boy, that's pretty close to the blade well, but I don't think it's a big problem. I wonder if I could pinch this. And it's kind of tough to pinch, maybe, but I think you can use this nail nick here and open it. It's a solid pull, not crazy. Let's see, what do I think this is? 7 probably. I'm gonna stamp it with a 7 on the pull. But you can see the Jack Wolf etch there, hopefully, and 14C 28N, which I have found to be a very capable steel. No blade play, and there are no stop pins in these Gateway series, so it gives you that really traditional sound. Really nice classic sound. I'll actually give you a comparison to this because I think it sounds pretty similar. Very similar. This is actually louder. So good walk and talk on it, and good centering. Maybe slightly off to the side, but by slightly I mean like less than a millimeter maybe. I don't know, you can take a look at that. Very slightly off towards this side. Yeah, and this root beer kieranite is, I would say, very classic, very traditional looking. This looks like a celluloid to me. And so I do like that. You know, you don't have to worry about off gassing and the cover material or handle material destroying your knife, but it has that very traditional look to it. I do like that it's got chatoyance with the gold kind of shimmer, and a very interesting knife. It feels very hefty in the hand to me, and I think that this really kind of thick belly and upper part does a lot for that, for making it feel hefty. So I'll just give you an example here. It's definitely a bigger knife. Oh, if you could see it, it's definitely a bigger knife than the Gateway fixed EDC. So pretty interesting. I would say also pretty different, a little bit different from Jack Wolf knives, and I think really cool. I'm going to put this in my pocket, put it to use, and I hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll do a full review. But I have been having trouble finding time to make videos, so I'm going to try to make a full review. If not, this counts as the full review. But if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.